Good afternoon, all. We'll call the August 5th meeting of the Greenwood Board of Public Works and Safety to order at 5:30 p.m. Roll call, please.
Mr. Hoover,
Here.
Mr. Rutherford,
Here.
Mr. Coleman.
Here.
Thank you.
Minutes of our last meeting, July 15th, have been distributed to members of the board. Any corrections, additions, or deletions from staff? Hearing none, is there a motion for approval as presented?
So moved. Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. First on our agenda is Chief Michelle. Come forward, Chief.
Good evening, Board.
Good evening.
So currently we have Seals as our current ambulance provider. I'd like approval for ratification of the current contract.
And we're terminating that.
So, yeah, it's actually midnight September 1st.
September 1st.
Seals administration has agreed to the terms of that as well. They'll be our service provider.
We believe that message has been communicated to them by letter of July 29th with a motion to ratify that action.
So moved. Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you, Board.
Anything else, Chief?
No, I think I got the next one as well. We're good.
Okay, go ahead.
Service. So,
For next 15 days, 20 days.
So Seals is our current ambulance service provider up until September 1st, starting at midnight. We have entered a contract with the ambulance service. That contract will start September 1st at midnight. Approval, ask the board's approval for the current contract alternative.
Chief, I noticed in the agreement we've been presented, July 26th appears to be the date.
Yes,
Not that it matters.
I think there's a separate effective date on that.
Yeah, I believe there's an effective date.
Oh, we still have sealed until that date. So, questions for the chief on this?
For approval.
Second. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you, Board.
Thanks, chief.
Thank you.
Lisa? Hello.
Good evening, gentlemen. I'm here in front of you this evening to bring to you a job description. It's for finance office manager. Right now, we have a utility billing manager who oversees the staff in the front office. And to give better and more support to the controller, we are actually requesting to update the job description to include all of the finance staff to be managed by the finance office manager. The controller is going to take that to the council tonight and request suspension of the rules. So that way we can move away from just having the utility billing office manager and make it a full-fledged finance office manager.
Do you anticipate this is someone from in?
We do have someone that is the utility billing office manager at this moment, and she is actually going to be fulfilling the finance officer or finance office manager role.
Okay.
So it's replacing the current role.
Okay. Questions from Ms. Vest? Now is there a motion to approve the job description as presented?
So moved. Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks, Lisa. Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Come before the board tonight to ask permission to purchase a Laser E60 zero turn mower from Premier Outdoor Power Equipment at the cost of $11,645. The legal withdrawal of contract.
Funds coming from where? Where? are the funds?
Our equipment.
You're right.
funds.
Move.
President Chair.
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye. It's a good price too.
It is.
Mr. Petty, I think you're up next.
Evening.
Todd.
I'm just here tonight to request approval to work with legal department on a contract with Christie's of Indiana for a vehicle auction and to have the auction list approved.
Is it just these 6 that you're talking about?
Yes, sir.
I'll move for approval and direct Mr. Petty to work with staff to prepare appropriate contract for the disposal.
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Todd. Next, we have a homeowner, Janet Lassiter, 1128 Sherman Drive. Hello.
Good evening.
Tell us what you'd like to do.
I have a 22-foot travel trailer. It's a new trailer. It was purchased last summer. And I'd like permission for a waiver for seasonal parking from May to October in my driveway.
You all have seen pictures of this, where it's at. You're going down County Line Road, you can see it from County Line Road.
No, that's actually someone else who has a waiver, who's on Sherman Drive.
Oh, really? Okay, I was just assuming I saw that.
Okay,
trailer
no,
sitting there.
that's someone on Sherman also, but they have a waiver.
John, is this in your bailiwick? Okay, I'm sorry.
Good evening. Bruce Campbell, code enforcement. I received an anonymous complaint about the camper in the driveway. It is in the front line of the house, so that was the only violation. Warning, notice of compliance was issued under Greenwood Municipal Code 8-30.
Kind of begs the question of what I saw then out there, 'cause the other one.
There is one at 1198 Sherman that has a variance on file. It's seasonal also.
Do you recall what the other one was, where we
It was the same situation
just wanted to have it?
and we approved it. Do you have the homeowners association? Did you get their approval?
We don't have homeowners.
Okay.
association.
Other questions? Yes, does anyone else in the audience wish to address the board on this? Is there anybody online who'd like to address this? We've got a lot of people online.
So you've had one neighbor, is that it?
Yes.
And you had it last year, is that?
Yes. I guess I should thank that neighbor for bringing that to my attention.
I think one of the issues is to put it behind the front line of the house, I think may be impossible because of the
So have
size
a
of their side.
Side yard setback.
Just not a,
Pleasure of the board.
I move for approval of the waiver. Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. Thank you.
Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank you, Bruce.
thank you.
Got another waiver request for Sullivan's at 1148 Plymouth Rock Way. Anybody here in person? Or anybody online? Sullivan's, Mr. Sullivan? Let's see. Okay. Paul, are you familiar with this?
I think John.
John, you are?
Steve, John Brown, City Code Enforcement. Regarding this address, they did apply for a waiver through legal. Site report was done. This is not my case. This is Officer Gillotte's on medical right now. We've received 3 external complaints on the property on the 6th of July, 1st of July, and the 18th of July respectively. I went out compliant to this. It is in violation due to the length. It's, again, just like this with the lot lines, there's not sufficient room on each side of the parcel to put it beside the house. The driveway is approximately 50 feet in length, and so there's sufficient room in the driveway for the trailer. The only, it does not block the sidewalk. And the only other thing is I say the trailer appears to be in good repair, roadworthy, not dilapidated anyway.
Said you had 3 complaints. Were they anonymous complaints or?
Yes.
I guess, and were they to different people?
I have no
We
idea.
don't know.
Do they have an HOA?
This is the Coopers.
That's an over addition, fairly small houses. Fairly small houses. I've mixed emotions about these things. We have a code. I know there are some exceptions.
When was the first warning or notice issued, John? The record reflect that?
I don't have that in front of me, that okay, the first case was closed, the subject was supposed to comment, they're going to seek a waiver. They're seeking one from Easter to Labor Day. And then after that, the second complaint came in on the 15th.
Thank
I
you.
left that position as opposed to the other.
Amanda, how are you have any evidence or record of how they were notified?
It was all via email. They originally called in and I spoke with them back at the beginning of July and told them to go through the process. And then when they submitted their actual waiver, it was all via email. And I explained to them they needed to be present. I did not receive confirmation.
I guess I'd like to have them here. Okay. See. Some,
John, does that present any kind of problem for your office if we continue with a couple of weeks?
Absolutely not.
I will make sure to make contact with them.
okay, I'll move for continuance. So let's go our next meeting. Second, further discussion. Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. Thanks, John. Next, we're going to talk about Redwood Apartment Neighborhood Phase 1. Adam, are you with us?
Actually, Adam was unavailable. He had a family emergency, so I'm actually here in his absence.
Okay, who's this?
I'm sorry, my name's Robert Tyra.
Okay.
I'm the land development manager for Redwood in this area.
Okay. Well, tell us what you want.
Well, from what I understand, we are fully done with phase 1, and we have had all the appropriate inspections, and we have met all of the requirements for our guarantees, and we are asking for those to be released.
Paul, anything?
No, there's a few public improvements in the street improvements out along Smoky Row Road, and then there's a trail / path, sidewalk along Smoky Row that the city would be accepting, but all other items are private, and yes, everything is in order. All fees have been paid. The O&M manual is fine, so yeah, we recommend decent performance and acceptance of those 2 maintenance guarantees.
Is there such a motion?
No, should we have Hopper Way put back on as a street? Kind of thinking about that. You would enjoy that.
We'll call it Gibson.
Dave Hopper. I would move that we approve the request.
Second. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you, Robert.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Next, we're going to talk Greenwood Village. Hello.
Hi, good evening, board. Nathan Barr from the Org. So we are requesting acceptance of a performance guarantee acceptance and execution of inspection and testing agreements, and acceptance and execution of a final replat. This is going to be for the April Drive connection. It's going to be a connector from the Greenwood Village South down to April Drive. Part of this project is going to be also April Drive improvements and extension of April Drive.
You guys been having some difficulty dealing with Mr. Morrow?
We've been working with,
Back here, Nathan.
I'm picking on you, I'm sorry. I'm too-
yeah, we've been working with engineering, making sure we can get everything in order.
Paul, anything going on, just the,
No, there was a condition there at the bottom, but then they provided the original performance guarantee this afternoon, and it's fine. So really, that condition doesn't need to be there at this point.
I'll move for approval.
Second.
further discussion? There you go, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thanks, Nathan. Sorry to pick on you, Jordan, had to do it.
Stack up and less.
Todd Wilkerson from our homes regarding Lincoln Place.
Good evening, gentlemen. I'm here to request the closure of Cushville Road for our subdivision that we're going to be constructing there at Cushville and Emerson. We'd like to close that for 45 days or thereabouts to do that construction. It will be a total, or not a total reconstruct, but we're going to pulverize the road, redo the road per your standards. We've got a sanitary and also storm sewer that we have to cross the road with. Are the reasons we're asking for this closure.
Well, I sent a memo with, tried to summarize.
We've
what-
got it in front of us. Have you seen the memo that Paul sent with some requested conditions? Do you have any problems with any of those?
No.
I've got a question on the actual construction, reconstruction of the road. How does it end at the railroad?
It ends right at that right-of-way line because we're not supposed to get into the railroad driveway.
Right.
So I think it's about 30 feet to the
East.
of the center line. It varies up and down there, but I think that it might be 30 feet. So they're going from that point all the way through to Emerson Avenue, and they're making some intersection improvements too, a little bit wider radii, especially on the
Yes. Hey, good-
On that southwest.
southwest corner.
If you approach that, have you been out there to take a look at that?
Not recently. but
Okay.
out there.
When they put the crossing arms in, the safety arms,
Yeah.
they poured a concrete curb, I guess to protect those arms.
Yeah.
Which is, if people are hitting that concrete curb, I get complaints about it all the time.
I think that was discussed with the railroad back when they did that, and they were adamant about having those there. And I think it was for protecting those, but yeah, I would agree that.
They're the railroad.
It would be a shame if, like, when they were out there doing
Right.
construction, if they would just like knock those over or
Accidentally.
something. I don't know if that had happened or not.
He didn't do that. No one else did that.
Don't know what's going on there, but yeah.
And the closure, we felt like Pushville Road, everything to the
You get
west
nervous,
side.
aren't you?
It's a recorded meeting.
I just said it'd be a shame.
But the access, everything to the west side can be accessed from US Highway 31. And then they do need to maintain access for those residents
We
along
will
there.
do that
And the
salvage
salvage
yard.
yard, right. We just want to make sure they coordinate. We're suggesting coordinating with engineering on their final schedule, because I think you're wanting to do this in the very near future, right, Todd?
Yeah, fairly soon. We want to try to get this underway.
And the sanitary, there is a crossing, but then it runs east-west also, and it's only about 10 to 15 feet from the edge of the roadway, so they're going to be.
We're about 15 foot deep on that sanitary.
Yeah. So
Are you picking up the houses on that sanitary line? Do you know?
they're installing laterals.
Yeah.
They are installing laterals, yes, and we were providing
Six
easements
of
from, I think it's 6 total around the whole property.
Yeah.
Yes, that's correct. Hey, guys, it's Greg with Lennar. I'm online. How you guys doing?
Good.
And the rebuild and the widening is approximately 1,800 feet. So it's just safer for everyone, for sure as well.
We're supportive of it. As long as they make all the
Subject to
notifications.
those 7 conditions that you listed in the memo. Do we have any other requirements? What are you going to start this as soon as you can, so you get approval to do this?
More than likely, we'll probably start it here. I think we got a 2-week wait on that because of some of the approval or some of the requirements.
Notifications.
So we're probably gonna be maybe 2 to 3 weeks out from starting it, but fairly soon.
So that'll start the 45-day period total, right?
Right, and then we put in there about the fine if they don't meet that deadline.
Further questions?
Yeah.
I would move that we approve the request subject to those conditions outlined in the report.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks, everybody.
Sure thing. Anyone from the audience wish to address us? Anyone online? If not on the agenda, wish to address us? Okay, now we'll move on to Mr. Hodgson.
First up is consideration of addendum to the McAllister extension of warranty. This is not the same generators you approved last time. This is the one at the DPW building.
Questions for Sam on this?
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Next up is renewal of Westlaw plan for a 3-year term.
We also have Lexus.
We do not.
I'll move for approval of this.
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Next up is consideration of contract for maintenance services with Otto's parking marking for services that have nothing to do with parking or marking. This is for the trails. They're resealing the trails.
Move for approval.
Second that. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And my last item is a ratification of the letter of extension for the PNC lease.
We'll talk about this last.
Yeah.
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. That's
That's
it,
all I
Sam.
have.
Thank you. Mr. Peon, how are you? What
I'm
you
doing
got for
great.
us?
I'm doing great. Well, first off, there are 2 encroachment requests. The first one for 211 Christie Drive is for a fence encroachment. There are no utilities located in this area. They do not have an HOA, so there would not have been a letter provided for that. But engineering felt that this one was okay to recommend for approval with the 3 conditions that are shown on Jeff Weaver's July 29th memo.
Are the property owners here?
Someone's online, I think.
I am here.
Good evening. Anything you want to add to that? Have you seen the recommended conditions?
Yes, I did see it. I don't have anything to add.
Okay, you have no problem with those conditions if we make that your approval subject to those conditions?
Nope.
Anything further for Paul or the property owner?
I move for approval with those conditions.
Do we do them one at a time? Or do we just- Okay, okay. I'll second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. Okay, now your other one. Paul?
The other one, well, I was hoping they would be here. I'm not sure if they're online.
They're here.
Oh, you are
They're
here.
here.
I'm sorry. Correct. Is there an existing shed out there? Because I was confused by the aerial.
There was, part of the permit process was to get the permit approved, I had to demo the existing shed. And then that's when they came, but first they said I had to be 8 feet away, and then after I demoed it, they said, oh no, you gotta be 15 feet. Well, you can see I don't have much room back there, and I was gonna really put that shed almost right next to my deck, so I was gonna have to cancel the order, or, you know, Derek here suggested we file for exception.
Yeah.
Here's where we are.
Again, engineering, usually on the structures like that, we tend to maybe feel that they should be approved because they're more of a permanent structure in case something ever has to happen back there and we need to get back there. He is showing that he's going to be 8 feet off of his, that would be the west property line. So he's about 7 foot into the easement, it appears, I think. And I was just curious whether there was an existing barn, because, you know,
This was built by C9, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, and it's very well constructed. The shed is back there. I'm in this neighborhood.
Yeah,
So
oh, I
I'm
know.
familiar with it.
Yeah.
And I guess one of my primary concerns is he was told to do it 8 feet off, but you got to tear down the existing shed, which he did. And then he gets told that it's 15 feet. So.
And that, I'm not sure who you spoke with. I don't know if it was planning.
I actually spoke with Josh Frazee at Building Department.
He is one of our building people. Okay. Yeah, and I apologize. I was unaware of that. If you were told 8 feet, I wasn't aware of that. So,
I would have kept the original. It was falling apart, but I could have maybe done some remodeling to it, you know, shaped it up.
Yeah.
I would have just kept the original. If they, for the beginning, would have said 15 feet, because I would have thought, yeah, okay, that's not gonna work for me.
Right.
But now that it's torn down, it's like, well, I just paid to put grass there.
And there's
Put everything like
It's on a
garage.
concrete pad.
Yeah, how will it be built? Just on a.
Yeah, so the base of our shed is steel. That's what would be in contact with the ground.
How difficult is it to move?
It's a portable structure. We deliver them whole. Our primary business is we build them on site. However, we do deliver our displays when we sell them as well.
Okay.
It can be moved.
So if the city had a drainage issue, are you committal that you could move that or
Sure.
be at your expense?
Yeah.
And if it causes any drainage issue, it becomes your problem to move it.
Sure.
And that,
8 feet seems reasonable. Yes, that's fine. It's an honest mistake. I would move that we approve the request. Second.
subject to those conditions.
Yes.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Did you get the memo with the conditions? It got sent later this afternoon, so maybe you didn't have a
I know I
chance.
got something about 5 o'clock.
John, if you wanna, here's a copy you can have.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll list the conditions. that
Okay.
they
That's right.
found, and their standard conditions down
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
there. Thanks.
Paul, what you got next? Main Street design?
Yes, and I believe that Corey with HWC's on the.
Corey, are you with us?
Yep, I'm here. Can you hear me?
We can, thank you.
Great.
So what are we doing here? Contract?
Mark St. John's been more involved in this than I have, but the city is wanting to do improvements to Main Street from, well, downtown all the way through the interstate and east. And this is for sections or segments 3 and 4, which is from just east of Polk Street to the Vista Road Shopping Center. And so we'd like to enter into a professional services contract for their company to do the survey, design, building coordination, right-of-way engineering, geotechnical. And then I don't know, Corey, if you have anything else you'd like to add to that. I did give you a memo, so
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I'm happy to answer any questions about the fee, what that includes, and if you want to know any more about the actual locations that are being worked on.
Well, this looks like you're going from Polk Street to Vista Run, which is almost to Emerson, right?
Yeah, yes. So segment 3 is from Polk Street to, looks like Airport Parkway. And then segment 4 is from Airport Parkway to Vista Run. And this does include a roundabout at Airport Parkway.
Questions for Corey? See what the price is of the contract, so. Is there a motion to approve this matter?
So moved.
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. Okay. Thanks, Corey.
Thanks, everybody.
Paul, what else do you have?
The next item is for another professional services contract. I believe Matt Brown's on the line. This is for a road impact fee study. And again, Mark St. John has had a lot more involvement with this than I have, but I tried to put together a summary memo also. But Matt, I don't know if you'd like to maybe just briefly go over.
Help us out, Matt.
Well, yeah, so the contract's for a road impact fee study. Basically what the road impact fee study will do, it will ultimately calculate a fee per trip that can be charged to new development to fund future roadway infrastructure so that you can meet the demand of the future traffic caused by new development over the next several years.
This is very important to professional staff because until we have this, every time we have a subdivision, we have to fight with them whether or not road improvements that we're demanding are sufficiently connected to the subdivision to get it done. Now there'll just be, if you have 100 houses, there'll be a impact you'll have to pay.
The engineering department is recommending this.
Yes.
And so
I'll move for approval.
I'll second that. Further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then they'll come back then with the.
With the study.
with the study.
Yes, yeah, that's.
Then we'll have to take action as
Well,
far as
create
the
ordinance. Yes.
ordinance
Right.
for that.
Right.
And does that then go to council?
Common council has to do it, yes.
Next, yeah.
Okay, the last two items are authorizing the mayor to
Oh, yeah.
sign the O&M manual for Grand Vista subdivision section 2 and then Sagebriar by Dale Webb section 2.
I'll move that we authorize both the Grand Vista subdivision and Sagebriar by Del Webb section 2. We authorize deputy mayor, or the mayor to sign the O&M documents. We'll sit here a long time, guys.
Second.
Second. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. For the audience, whenever I make a motion, these gentlemen think it's funny to let me sit here and speak in my own use of this second.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Greg, you have anything? I don't have it. Okay, thank you. Well, Mr. Rutherford.
I would move for the approval of the claims.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. We'll stand adjourned at 6:03 PM. All right.